Welcome to the FIBO Football Festival here in the Content Studio. On day 3, we are joined by a lot of fun guests, and there's a big energy here in the FIBO Football Festival. A lot of fit people, and I think I'm joined by a very fit person, Leander Wiegand, former ELF player, now IPP prospect, who just came out as the strongest player for this year's NFL draft. Welcome, Leander.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really happy to be here. It's a great event. The ELF has a great stand here on the FIBO, and yeah, I'm happy to be here. Excited for the interview.
You just mentioned here this booth at the expo that there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
You just challenged Kyle Kitchens to a bench press duel. Who came out victorious?
I had one more rep, so.
One more rep.
Yeah.
You had 38 reps.
Yeah.
On this year's Pro Day, correct?
Yes. The IPP, we were invited to join the USF, University of South Florida, for their Pro Day, and on that they had 38 reps, and so far it's the highest number. Really happy about that. Worked many years for it, so yeah.
You say so far, so there are more people being tested, so. But
I think all the Pro Days are done, so it's the highest number.
Great. So we'll call it in like this. You're the strongest player in this year's draft, and as you told me before, you are draft eligible, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so before we get into all that, you've had quite some journey, obviously. You're playing football since, I think, 2019?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Well, with the Aachen Vampires, then you moved on to the ELF. Walk us through a little bit about your history. How did you start playing football, and what's your journey so far?
Yeah, so I started playing football in Aachen last year of youth football. It was 9-man football, so 2 offensive linemen less than normal football, but it was really exciting because I played with many of my friends, and unfortunately we had only 4 games, but those games were amazing. And after that I went to college for a bit, and then 2022 I had my first real football season, I would say, with Cologne and the ELF, which was amazing. Played with some great players there, some great people. And from there I went to Rheinfire, 23, won the championship, undefeated. And last year I played in Munich, great team, and played for the greatest offensive lineman ever. Joe Thomas was the O-line coach. And yeah, now I'm here.
Now we're here. Yeah. That's it basically in a nutshell, so thank you. No, kidding. In 2022, you were already invited to the IPP Combine, I think it's called.
Yes,
they're usually hosting that in London every year, and they're inviting players from all over Europe to...
The whole world, actually.
The whole world is it in London, okay. To test out, what do you have to do on this Combine Day? Yeah, so
at the end of my season, I got an email that I was invited, and it was in London, and 45 players from all around the world. And it was, I think, 3 or 4 days. So we had the measurements, we had some interviews, and then the combine testing. So the 40, the short shuttle, broad jump, vertical jump, bench press, and then the position drills. And it was a great experience. The feedback was good, but unfortunately I couldn't make it back then. And other people got invited, not me, which kind of fueled the fire even more. So I went, played for Rheinfire, played for Munich, and after the Munich season, they called again. I had a workout again, not in London, just a local workout. Okay. And then I got invited to the program.
Okay, interesting. So there are different ways to get into this program.
Yeah.
But you said it fueled you even more, this setback.
Yes.
So is this how you draw your motivation, or how you also overcome adversity? That you say, okay, it's not worked out this time, but next time.
Yes, definitely. I get quite motivated by people telling me no, or I'm not good enough, or I can't do something. So I think throughout my whole life, but especially my football journey, this really motivates me, and because I think like I set my own limits, not somebody else. So that's what I basically did. I kept working. I have a great coach in Aachen, Christian Moore. He was an NFL player as well. And we just kept working, getting better. And then with Rheinfire and Munich, I could get more experience, get a better player. Especially last year with Joe, I made a huge step. And which I think now I'm in the best position to make this next step as well. Yeah.
Amazing. That is a cool journey and also a good quality to have, that you're fueled by, well, challenges. I think not a lot of people have that, but it's, I think, really important for making it to the pro level. And I think you got a first win of the pro level the past 3 months where you've been in the US, correct? So you went to Florida, as far as I know.
Yeah.
How's that like? What is your day-to-day as being in this IPP program? What do you do? How do you spend time with the people there? What do you eat? What do you talk us through it?
So the IPP camp in Florida it's definitely a grind. So it's 10 weeks. For me this year was 11 weeks, but it's a 10-week grind. You practice 6 days of the week. On 4 of those days you have 3 days, and so it's really continuous work. It's really interesting because some people never played football get invited there, or most of the guys actually.
Wow.
And for me, I could fill some knowledge holes, I would say. But it's a combination of like improving athletically, but also in the football ways, football knowledge. Had great coaches there. But the greatest thing, I met so many young athletes, kind of my similar situation from all around the world. So we had guys from Fiji, Australia, Zimbabwe, Ireland, France, South Africa, and that was probably the nicest part. Like I met friends there, and to see the different cultures, and it was amazing. It was so much fun. And then at the end we had the pro day. I think it went well, and I
think so too.
Put myself in a good position that now I gotta wait for the draft, and after the draft to hopefully hear from a team.
Nice. I mean, we certainly hope that you will hear from a team during or after the draft, for sure. And so you're saying that there's a big team spirit as well amongst the other IPP players, although you're each individually trying to make your way into the league. There's the spirit of, hey, let's make it together, let's fuel this as a team. And I think in terms of what you actually do on a day-to-day, what improved, I think, 10 weeks is not a lot to improve a lot of skills. I think you have to already bring a lot to the table.
Yeah.
So what do you think made the biggest difference there for your skills personally, and what even still improved in this 10 weeks?
I think my football knowledge made a big step, because in Europe, when you play in the ELF, for example, you can't just really focus on football. There are only a few players in the league who just have football as their main job. So you have your job, university, family, whatever, a bunch of other stuff going on, and there I could really focus on, dial in. I had 3 meetings a day, so you can watch so much tape, film from college, but especially NFL. Then you can watch your practice and get on the board in the classroom, draw up plays, and I think that really helped me a lot. But also for me, it was also, again, it showed me how important football is for me. So because it is a grind, and it is like continuous work day to day, the whole day. But I enjoyed it so much, and it really showed me that I want to do this, and yeah.
That's amazing to hear, that you're still, after all the grinding and hard work, which you certainly did to achieve this much of the success on your pro day, that you're still motivated and eager to make it even further. Let's look back at your time in the ELF. So we just talked about what improved during your time in the IPP program, but what really made a difference once you got into the ELF? What skills did you build there, and kind of what foundation was laid there to the point where you're at now?
I think the greatest thing about the ELF is that me coming in 22 as a really unexperienced offensive lineman, I never really played. And then my first season, I go up against guys like Michael Sam, ex-NFL players, or Niklas Gustav, for example. He was one of the best European pass rushers in the ELF. Many other names, I'd probably forget a few, or Alejandro, for example, from Spain. And I really believe that the best way you can learn is making mistakes. So if you go against good guys, you make mistakes and then you get better. So the competition is so high, and but also playing with good players, against good players, that's the best way to improve. And for me, I enjoyed it so much, like playing in the ELF, traveling to different countries, but also the great coaching. So I was fortunate enough that in every season I had a coach who had experience overseas. So Frank Rosa, for example, he had experience at college football.
Yep.
Jim Tom Sula in the NFL, and Andrew Weidinger, NFL and college football. Joe Thomas, and I think the level is proving year by year. I think this year the teams look better than ever. I would say we have a few teams who look really, really good, and I think the competition will be crazy. And I'm really excited for the next season. Yeah.
Yeah, we're really excited too for the next season, but also what's coming up for you. Let's take it back to the present. We just talked about your pro day, 38 reps on the 100 in the bench press is quite the outstanding number. I think not a lot of people have outperformed you so far. It's not the historical best performance. I think you said before we came on, the best one was around 49
49,
reps.
yeah.
That is pretty insane, I think.
Yeah,
I can't even do one. But do you think this has helped, or did you expect this performance going into the pro day from yourself? Or was it something that also kind of sparked in the moment with all the adrenaline? And then also, did this help you to have this year's record to get more attention from NFL teams?
Yeah, great question. I would say bench press is definitely my strong suit, and going into the pro day, the coaches at the IPP always said you got to have a wow factor. For last year, for example, one of the offensive linemen got drafted, and Travis from the UK, he ran an extremely good 40. And they said after you run the 40, he had all the intentions. So I knew that if I can get a crazy number, it will be the bench press. And I had good coaches at IMG, but also then on the pro day, there's a video they posted. You can see so many guys standing around, all my IPP mates cheering me on. But then also when you go to a bench and you look at NFL scouts from every team, with the notebooks, you can't really get more motivation or hype than that. And I knew I had a good shot to get a higher number. My goal was 40, so unfortunately I got a little bit short there. But 38 is still great, and I'm really proud of it because I know how much hard work it took, how many years, especially here in Aachen with my coach, and then after that, definitely there was a lot of attention because we had the vertical jump after. I did pretty well on that too for my size, I would say. I had 32 inches, and after that there were already so many eyes on me, and I finished strong with the position drills, I got told, and then there was quite some interest from teams, but I think the bench definitely did it for me.
Yeah, you can be certainly proud of what you did there in the pro day, but also on your journey so far, including the ELF, including everything you did so far, the IPP program.
Thank you.
If you had one message to every other, especially homegrown ELF talent, would you say, if I can do it, everybody can do it? Or what's your message if there are some guys out there that still want to go pro, maybe they want to go overseas? What would be your advice?
I think you should really set your own limits, because when I started really late. I had my really first football season with at Cologne. I was 22, 23, so I started really late. And when I first, or before even college, when I told people about my goal, everybody told me no. My parents, because they love me, they sure, but nobody really believed in it. And at the beginning, you gotta have this huge amount of self-belief and confidence in yourself, and you gotta match it with work ethic. And then I think there's so many better things coming, or you can get so much farther than you think at the beginning. And just keep working. But I learned it the hard way. Dedication and discipline really is everything. Because I wouldn't say I was talented. I'm tall, but that's pretty much it. I was slow and weak when I started. So dedication is everything. Find yourself a good coach. That helped me tremendously. But just keep going, keep pushing. And I would say with Lenny Krieg, for example, after the pro day, he got signed. And he was the best kicker at the NFL Combine. He is the guy, and he comes out of the ELF. So I think that really shows that the chance is there, the path is there. So set your own limits. Set
your own limits and believe in yourself and work hard, I think I got from you. Perfect. I mean, we all believe in you.
Appreciate
for the upcoming couple of months that are certainly exciting for you. End of April, we'll all be watching you, but also, like, if it's not happening in the draft, I'm sure, or I hope you get picked up somewhere. We all, like I said, believe in you from this European League of Football. Thank you for coming on here. All the best of luck.
Thank you,
for
thank
what's
you.
ahead for you. And, well, that was it with Leander. Believe in yourself. Set your own limits.
Yes, sir.
And, well, keep working hard. Thank you.
Thank you.